Hello, it's Emma here. I am a personal trainer, health coach, yoga teacher, and Reiki master, and it's my mission to help women get back into exercise and to do it in a truly kind of feminine way and a way that suits them rather than that whole masculine, no pain, no gain kind of thing, which I think is why a lot of women stop exercising in the first place. And today I wanted to really talk to you about setting intentions for your fitness goals. And we're at that time of the year where you might be thinking about New Year's resolutions or what you want to do for the entire year. And even if you're watching this video at a different time of the year, this is my favorite way to set intentions, and it has nothing to do with New Year's resolutions and everything to do with following the moon phases and connecting into that real feminine energy that we get a chance to connect to every single month. So I've given a little bit of that away, what I want to talk about, but first of all I want to talk about why I don't like New Year's resolutions and actually why I don't like setting sort of one-off goals for our fitness, which is kind of what happens a lot of the time. You know, you might go to the gym or you might go and see a personal trainer and you might set goals right at the beginning of your fitness journey and never revisit them again. Whereas following the moon cycles gives us a chance to keep revisiting. So if we set a New Year's resolution or we set a one-off goal, as I said, you don't get a chance to kind of revisit it very often unless you're really disciplined. And so if you haven't achieved your goal or you stopped exercising for a really good reason, all you end up with is a bit of guilt, a bit of shame, and feeling pretty crappy about yourself for not doing what you set yourself out to do. So the reason I love using the new moon, which happens every 29 and a half days, to set intentions for our fitness, but also for love and money and happiness, is that we get to revisit these goals over and over again. It gives us a chance to celebrate what's gone really well, but also to look at our goals and go, is this still what I really want? Is this something that's really something I desire still, or do I want to change my original goal? And that gives us that fluidity and that, tapping into our intuition and what feels right for ourselves right now. That's what setting intentions with the moon cycles does. So why the new moon? The new moon happens every 29 and a half days. And if you think about the new moon, it's when the moon is dark. You can't actually see the moon in the sky. And over a period of 29 days, it goes from being completely invisible to growing into the full moon and then to going back to being completely invisible. So at the beginning of the cycle, at the beginning of the moon phases, when it's a new moon, that is the perfect energy to start something new, which is why it's a great time to set intentions and set goals. And then you can watch as the month goes on that your goals and your desires start to grow. Now, what will happen is maybe you won't get your goal in the first month. Some of them might come true and some of them might not come true. And that's okay, because we've got a whole lifetime to achieve some of these goals, but it gives you an opportunity to see how things are going every single month and checking in. And that's what I love about new moon rituals. So now I want to take you through my new moon ritual and something I've been doing for a number of years on and off, and I keep adding to it and changing it. And I want you to know that you can add to your new moon ritual or change it to something that suits you. And it doesn't have to take a long time, but I usually set aside about 30 minutes to an hour every month to do this. I try to do it pretty much around the time of the new moon. The new moon happens at a specific minute of the month, but if I can't do it at the time, then I try to do it within the first 2 to 3 days after the new moon. So if you're watching this video and you've missed the exact new moon time, that's fine. You've got 2 to 3 days to really use this new moon energy. And I would even say, if you're watching this and it's the full moon or it's some other type of part of the phases of the moon, don't worry about it. Just start where you are, start today, and then the next time it's the new moon, you can redo this practice. So the first thing I do with my new moon ritual is I really set up my space. So I, give myself that 30 minutes to an hour in my timetable. I, light some candles. Sometimes I burn some incense. Sometimes if I feel like I need some new energy for my intentions, I might smudge my room. I love to put beautiful music on. Sometimes I like to use essential oils. So I get my journal around me. And maybe some oracle cards as well. So I really set the scene, and that is the first thing that I do when it comes to my new moon ritual. The second thing I do is, if you've done this before, you can do this too, otherwise think about this for the second time you do it, is I read through my intentions from the previous month. And I really feel them and look at them, and I celebrate my wins, and I think about what's held me back from achieving some of the things that I haven't achieved. And I give myself a pat on the back for trying and for putting those intentions out there, and for writing them down, and for really wanting those things. And I really try to step into a place of gratitude, so that when I'm setting my intentions for the new month, that I have that sense of lightheartedness and love and gratitude in my heart, rather than that feeling of striving and feeling like I don't have enough or wanting more from my life. Instead, I have that really light, grateful and really happiness in my heart. And sometimes I even write down a few things that I feel grateful for, and really focus on the wins that I've achieved in the previous month or couple of months. The third thing I do is get a beautiful new sheet of paper in my journal, and I start to write down my intentions for the month and the things that I would love to come true, my goals, my wishes. I never write more than 10, because we're asking for a bit of help from the universe. We don't want to overwhelm ourselves or, ask for too much. We will still want to have that feeling of gratitude. So no more than 10, but if it's 2 or 3 things you want to write, that's enough too. Whatever feels really important to you, whatever feels like something that you really want in your life. And so it could be as simple as, I want to exercise 3 times a week, or it could be, I want to be able to run a kilometre without stopping. Like, you might have all sorts of different exercise goals, but of course you'll have other goals too. So it might be, I want to get a promotion at work, or I want to, start going out with friends more often, or I want to feel like there's more love in my life. It can be whatever you want it to be. No more than 10. And then start to write down, how would it make me feel if I was to achieve those goals? Like, what's one word that describes how I would feel? And then write down one thing you could do to set that goal in motion. So don't have to write every single step or how you think it has to happen. Just one thing that you can do to get that goal started. So that's what I would do. Write down up to 10 things. For each one, how does it make you, how do you want to feel? Like, what's the feeling you want to get from achieving that goal? And then what's one step you can do to get that ball rolling? After I've done that step, then I really want to focus on those feelings. And so you might want to come up with one word that describes how you want to feel. So let's say if you want to start exercising more, and you want to go out with friends a little bit more, and you want to feel more love in your life, maybe that's that sense of sort of energy you want to feel. You want to feel like you've got like that outgoing kind of energy in your life. Let's just say that's what it is. Then I would suggest that you spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes in meditation, and just really feel that feeling in your body. So maybe you have to repeat that word in your mind, or maybe you can feel that sensation in your body. But closing your eyes, maybe visualizing a color that represents it, but try and get into that feeling that you want to feel overall for the month for a period of 5 to 10 minutes of meditation. The 5th step, after I've really gotten into how I want to feel for the month, I actually reread the list, and I start to sort of really feel the feelings, read the list, start to build that energy of belief that it's actually going to happen. And then I repeat, or I say this mantra out loud, this or something better, and so it is. The last thing I love to do as part of my new moon ritual is to do a little tarot reading. I just Google tarot readings for new moons. Sometimes I do the same one for a few months in a row, and sometimes I create something new every single time. And I wouldn't feel shy about borrowing other people's tarot readings or oracle card readings. But I like to do a reading just to really set into stone how I want to feel and what sort of support I might need, or what sort of roadblocks might come along to stop me, and so I can be prepared to sort of work around those roadblocks. And often throughout the month, I don't necessarily focus on rereading the list of my wishes, but I might look at the tarot reading a couple of times just to refresh the energy around my wishes and to get back into problem solving if things aren't going the way I want them to, or just letting go of having to control everything and just letting things happen on their own. And so that is the final step. Once you've written it all down, as hard as it might feel, we need to sort of let it go. We want to take those first steps that you wrote down, but then let's just let things evolve and move on. So, say you want to exercise for 3 times a week, and after the first week you've only exercised once. Don't say, oh, I've ruined it all, and don't force yourself to go back to 3 exercise sessions a week. If your life's gotten busy and you can't make it work for you right now, just trust that it's going to work the way it's supposed to. Because imagine if you got to the end of the month and what you actually have done is gotten into doing 1 exercise session a week, and that's happening really, really easily. That means that next month on the new moon, or around the time of the new moon, you can write down again that you want to do 3 exercise sessions a week, and maybe next month you do 2 sessions a week, and then the 3rd month you get to your 3 sessions a week. So sometimes it doesn't all happen overnight, and it doesn't all happen in the first month, but what you're going to start to see if you do this ritual for yourself every single month is that things are happening and you are getting the results that you want over time. And it takes the pressure off that we always put ourselves under, thinking everything has to happen right now, and it gives us that chance to be more fluid, tap into our intuition more, tap into those feelings of trust that we have as these feminine beings that we are. And then we're going to get into our lives what we really want, rather than the things that we're forcing into our lives. So I hope you love this idea of new moon rituals. I would love to know if you are going to do them for yourselves. What I would suggest you do now is, for the next 12 months, write in your diary when the new moon is, and give yourself that hour or 30 minutes every month to actually do this ritual for yourself, and just watch and see what happens.